Welcome to another bucket commentary video. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about with the current gen console. Some of it is definitely confirmed to be coming, and some are a little bit more coming, but gonna come later down the road. And on top of some maybe unconfirmed or really far-fetched prediction, and on top of I will be giving on top of what are the domino effects of the console refresh rumors. So the console that are being definite that are going to be refreshed is Nintendo Switch, PS5, and maybe the Xbox Series. For Nintendo Switch, I can guarantee, I can fucking put money on it that and confident be like Nintendo is going to be forced to do a Switch refresh or do a Switch 2. Because why? For the non-tech savvy viewers that are just happen to come into this video, the Nintendo Switch, that SoC is no longer manufactured. All the Switch that you're buying right now brand new, the SoCs are Nintendo stored them in some massive giant warehouse and they're just taking it out of that warehouse. Once that warehouse store runs out of the SoC, there is no more manufacturing them new. So basically, Nintendo Switch will be forced to end of life, whether Nintendo wants it or not. The SoC manufacturer, Nvidia, is going to refuse to uphold it. They already upheld their deal of contract. Nintendo is not going to force them, be like, here's another contract, make more Nintendo SoCs, which Nvidia will not do. So, what can we expect with this new Nintendo Switch refresh on Nintendo Switch 2 SoC? Likely this will have some sort of basic ray tracing and some basic ARM core that uses like Grace. And for the ray tracing, why are they doing that? Nvidia they have basically with all their products, they now all pedal the RTX. And why do I say they're going to use some sort of ARM cores? Well, the Nvidia, they happens to design their own Grace cores, and I would not be surprised if Nvidia is forcing Nintendo to be like, use our fucking Grace cores or our ARM core and our fucking ray tracing core. So these guys are consoles. I think Nintendo and Nvidia, they're two giant of cheap assholes. Nintendo wants to make the cheapest dirt console that is bare bone functional, and Nvidia wants to sell Nintendo the most profitable SoC that they can make, which is basically they're going to try and going to reuse as much as NVIDIA IP and the internal design as much as possible and not needing to go design new SoC and new core and GPU for that console. Basically, Nintendo Switch, if you're looking for thinking this is going to improve my Switch experience, going to give us 4K 1440p gaming, no. Nintendo is not going to do that. The Switch refresh is not going to really do that. At best, maybe 1080p 30 FPS. You're going to be paying a premium price for a bare bone cheap experience that Nintendo is going to lock you down to only their Nintendo bullshit. So yeah, if that seems, but if you are a Switch owner, you probably are already fine with it. So considering maybe when the Switch 2 comes out, maybe consider buying it. If you're not a Switch owner, I don't see the point, or I don't see the point of buying the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch refresh or the Nintendo Switch 2. For the next console, I think we'll definitely get a refresh and maybe come down the line, and that was the PS5. These the PS5, for those don't know, the PS5, what I think is imminent is a PS5 Slim, and again, PS5 Slim. Why you think is happening? Why I think it's happening very much. So the latest revision of the PS5 SoC is the 6 nanometer edition, and is no longer using the PS5 launch 7 nanometer edition. And this 6 nanometer has shrunk down the SoC. Every cooling and everything has shrunk down to the point where in the new PS5 console, the new chassis with the launch chassis, it has a lot of empty, wasted space. I think Sony would want to, make a smaller console and save a little bit more money on shipping and hopefully stop another price hike for their console. So here's what I think Sony is going to be doing imminently. They're just going to eventually stop selling the PS5 and just going to sell one edition, PS5 Slim Edition. This is going to be based on the PS5 Digital Edition. And for you CD fans or some people that is like, we want our CDs and we are still going to buy the PS5. No, Sony knows that they need to cater to you. So they're going to release a PS5 Slim and a external CD drive that you can plug in via USB. I think from what I heard, going to be proprietary, so I guess you're going to forced to buy a PS5 CD player and reader. I think overall Sony is doing pretty good with the if this is what they plan to do with the PS5 refresh. I think this is a good idea. This saves both the money in their end and hopefully not do another console hike, as seems right now in a lot of finance situation, a lot of people are doing it tough, or two, where the margins are just being cut. For certain things are being cut, and for certain things are just growing and growing. The console that I don't think is going to get a lot of significant refresh is the Xbox Series. The only thing I really see the Xbox Series doing is at best enabling more parts of the Xbox SoC that Microsoft originally designed for, to ensure maximum Xbox SoC is produced. Do I think that's gonna happen? Maybe not. I think at best the new Xbox Series, maybe they give us more storage, since SSDs are now dropping in price pretty drastically. But Xbox Series no longer I don't think Microsoft consider Xbox a console anymore. They consider it a software service that they want to push everyone onto their Game Pass, and it just happens that, hey, if you don't have any hardware to play our Xbox Game Pass, hey, here's a fucking really, really dirt cheap Xbox Series and Series X. And I think the hardware segment of Xbox is gonna get neglected and not gonna get a lot of attention from Microsoft. And Xbox is slowly going to transition from a console brand to purely a software brand. Now, on to the domino effect of these console rumors. for the non-tech savvy viewership, you the Xbox Series and the PS5 SoC. Guess who makes them? That's right, AMD makes those SoCs, which means any changes that the console make, eventually AMD gonna have to do it for their desktop and their silicon segment. So basically, for the PS5 SoC, that the CPU side, I don't seem to have any Sony able to do any specialization. At best, they'd be like, here's the core that you cannot change, and maybe we let you have some extra features or things, and here's a bunch of cores and features. You can only cut features, you can't add features. What the PS5 SoC custom is rather the graphics GPU segment, where Sony were able to choose what GPU cores, what features, what they want to add, so like they can add prototype features that are gonna not on the current AMD RX lineup. So like, from what I've seen, there are the PS5 refresh is getting a lot of the RX 8000 and some even RX 9000 features into the PS5 refresh that are clearly not coming onto desktop anytime soon. But Sony, because they get a custom GPU SoC, they get it earlier than the desktop and laptop and even server counterparts. So this has kind of, Sony is indeed pushing AMD for features, not just for their console. We as PC gamers should praise Sony for pushing AMD to have these cool features, which perfectly goes back to the 7900 GRE edition. What I can definitely confirm is that the 7900 GRE, these cards are kind of using Navi 32 PCB and coolers, even though they're using Navi 31 dies, and you're wondering, why are AMD doing this? They are doing this to finally get AIBs and system integrators ready for their AMD RX 7000s, 7700 XTs, and their 7800 XTs. Hopefully, these two graphics cards launch without any community ire and any community backlash, and they price it right and launch it with no bugs or minimum of bugs. And yeah, I really can't say more than that. And then on to the not so great news, which is AMD seen on the RX 8000 series seems to have cancelled their high-end graphics card. Which kind of, if this is true, all I can say is AMD has tried 2 generations in a row to compete at the high end, and they failed. And the second generation of chiplet high end graphics has failed AMD, and AMD's like, alright, we throw in the towel. We're no longer making high end chiplet graphics card. Alright, we'll make entry level and maybe premium mid and maybe low end mid end graphics card, and that's what we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future, as well clearly the high end market don't want us. And this, do I think this is could a potential happen? This is not AMD's first time doing this, and not AMD's last time doing this. Hopefully AMD launches a high end, but if AMD doesn't launch another high end graphics card, that's very understandable. That's fine, AMD. You guys are now know that you guys aren't premium, and you guys at best are entry level and low end mid range graphics card manufacturers. The other not so great news in the rumor mill is that Vega is finally getting end of life and end of software driver support. As well, for people who don't know, Vega, AMD doesn't really have any new product that they launch that uses Vega and is really profitable for AMD to really give you game drivers. Maybe at best give you like security update and that's it. Hence, again, I don't blame AMD if they decide to just end of life Vega, as clearly one, they're not making any more money from it. Why spend more money on paying talent and engineers making drivers for those products? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, AMD, you do what you have to do to keep fucking in business and not go bankrupt, I guess. Anyway, and avoid massive debt again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, do the like and subscribe thing and share to grow this community. And I'll see you guys in the next video.